Ready?
Please.
Okay. Is it ready now?
Muted. Unmuted. I don't need to.
Okay. As Ms. Stewart mentioned, for parents to sign in through the chat box, or if you have any questions, as I see a lot of parents and grandparents and guardians signing in through the chat, we're asking that you put your child's first and last name, and if you need a translator, to also put that, and that'll help us when we do our virtual one-on-ones with you at the beginning of the year. Sorry. And this is what our virtual learning schedule will look like. As you can see, it goes from 8 until roughly 1. Yeah, I can't scroll down, but you'll have your morning meeting, then your child will go to their specials for 45 minutes. We'll have a quick brain break. Then your teacher for homeroom, your child will be with the homeroom teacher for block 1. Then you'll have another brain break to just kind of get back into learning. Block 2 from 10:15 to 11:20. And then we'll break into smaller groups to focus on more individualized learning. And then there'll be an additional small group while the other part of the class is doing something assigned by the homeroom teacher. And then your child will break for lunch. And then on the side, you'll see from 2 to 3 that we will be available for questions. We're asking that you complete any unfinished assignments for reading or math. There won't be any live sessions after lunch, but we will be available through Remind, email, text. So definitely feel free to reach out to us in the afternoon after, especially during this first week when you probably have a lot of questions. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Matthews. Mr. Mitchell is going to talk to us about how we are able to receive our device if we haven't done so, or if you need a device for your students.
So if you haven't picked up technology already, you can go to sugarcreek.org. It needs you to fill out a technology form before you receive any equipment. And a link is attached here. And I'm sure if you need it, we can always forward to you via Remind if you didn't get it via email. But you need to fill this out before the school gives you any technology.
Come on, get ready. It's almost time for the Halloween parade.
And what curriculum will be used? So for ELA, grades K-1, they'll be using the Common Core standards. Grades 2 through 4, they'll be using Wit and Wisdom and Common Core standards. Math, K through 4 will be using Eureka and the Common Core standards. And they'll also be using Phonics K through 1, they'll be using Foundations. And guided reading will be also Common Core from K through 2.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. Ms. Dates, will you please go over the suggested home schedule for us?
The suggested home schedule, remember this is just a suggestion. From 7 to 7:30, wake up, get dressed, brush your teeth, wash your face. We have a dress code, so we're asking that kids come dressed and ready. 7:30 to 7:50, breakfast. 7:50, 8 o'clock, sign on to Canvas and access your Zoom link. 8 o'clock to 1:30 is instruction. Please refer to the grade level schedule for your lunch times. From 1:30 to 3 o'clock, you can complete any assignments that your teacher has assigned for you during the day. And from 8 to 8:30, prepare for bed, and 8:30, get ready for a good night's rest.
Thank you, Ms. Dates.
And since instruction is only Monday through Thursday, Friday will be your independent study days. So your teacher has assigned some differentiated assignments, whether it's through iReady, Zern, Wit and Wisdom, Eureka. It'll all be assigned by your teacher. It is self-directed. Programs iReady will be given passwords by your teacher. It's the same password as last year, but if you need assistance with that, please let your teacher know. Zern is a math. Reading A to Z is reading. Wit and Wisdom would be reading, and Eureka would be math. And your teacher's office hours are from 2 to 3. So if you have any questions logging on with that, please access your teacher.
Thank you, Ms. Dates. Attendance and policies and procedures. Mr. Russell did go over this briefly in the short video we played, but daily attendance is required for remote instruction. Attendance will be taken by teachers and recorded in PowerSchool each day. Again, we do understand that emergencies happen, students get sick, but this is the best way for them to have the best instruction and to get real-time feedback from their teachers. Students will be counted as present if they attend live class sessions on Zoom. Students who have limited access to the internet will be counted as present if they attend a scheduled check-in session with their teacher or teachers by phone using Google Voice. If you need a hotspot, please put that in with the technology request. I know last week they were out of hotspots, so they were ordering more. Students will be counted as present if they watch the recorded video or videos of the live class session or sessions, and also complete and submit all assignments by the original due date. Again, if a student is not able to attend a live class session due to being sick or a family emergency, they will be counted as present if they watch the recorded video or videos of the missed class session or sessions, and also complete and submit the missed assignment or assignments. How will grading work? So teachers will update the grade book weekly, so about 2 times a week. Grades can be accessed in the parent portal hub of PowerSchool. If you need your information to access the parent hub, please contact Christopher Dunn at dunn.christopher@thesugarcreek.org. Tests will be 35% of your student's grade. Classwork will be 35% of your student's grade. Quizzes will be 15% of your student's grade, and homework and participation will be 15% of your student's grade. Students will be taking the diagnostic test for math and reading to determine where they are academically. This is not a graded assessment. You cannot fail this assessment, so please ensure students are working independently with minimal distractions to complete these diagnostic assessments. All of this is essentially just to inform teachers on how to instruct your students. If your student needs a packet of materials, a supplemental materials packet will be available for pickup on Friday, August 21st from 8 to 3. These packets will just consist of the materials your student's teacher will upload to Canvas. If you have already picked up your technology, your information for the student login was distributed when technology was picked up. The EOG and the BOG. So typically, the students would be taking the BOG, or the beginning of grade level test. It is given at the beginning of the school year. However, due to virtual learning, students will not take the beginning of grade level test until they are back in the building for face-to-face learning. This test is used to measure a 3rd grade student's growth from the beginning of the year to the end of the year when they are administered the EOG, or the end of grade level test. According to the state mandate, students will be taking the EOGs at the end of the school year, but we will keep families informed as the information is passed to teachers. Intervention. If your student receives intervention services, these services will begin virtually on Monday, August 24th. Mr. Phillips, the 2-4 math interventionist, will explain in detail what intervention will look like this school year. You're on mute, Mr. Phillips.
Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Hey. Good afternoon. My name is Mr. Phillips, and I'm a math interventionist for grades 2 through 4. The elementary team is comprised of 3 other excellent interventionists, Ms. Deese, Ms. Martino, and Mr. Wooten, and our wonderful K support person, Ms. McNeil. Our exceptional leader of this team is Ms. Graham, who is the intervention and MTSS coordinator. Next slide, please, Ms. Stewart. So what is intervention? Intervention is a program to help students improve in subjects such as reading and math. Here at Sugar Creek, during intervention, we provide direct instruction to students in a small group setting. We use research-based resources to supplement what the students are learning in class and prepare them to be successful on both informal and formal assessments. Next slide, please, Ms. Stewart. Our classes will meet Monday through Thursday, 12:30 to 3. Each session will last 30 minutes for both reading and math. Please note, parents, that learning is differentiated and based on the multi-tiered systems of support. The structure of the program is supported with data-based instruction and weekly progress monitoring. If your child was retained, participated in intervention last year, or an EC referral, then your child will participate in the program this school year. If that is the case for you, more in-depth information will be forthcoming. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to working with you and your child.
Thank you, Mr. Phillips. Family expectations. Mrs. Soisman, will you please walk us through our family expectations for virtual learning?
Yes, absolutely. So family expectations for virtual learning. Number one, we want proper attire, please. Socks, shoes, and uniforms are not necessary. You don't have to wear your uniform shirt, but we would ask that pajamas and robes not be worn during the sessions. Number two, minimal noise in the background. There should be no noise, inappropriate music, TV shows, talking from adults nearby, etc. So try to find a quiet area for your child to go every day. Three, if possible, be near your child during the live session. Sometimes your child, especially in the beginning, will need some help with technology. You don't have to sit right behind them, but just be available if possible. Your student may also need assistance in staying focused. Number four, please allow your child to do the work independently. This is very important. We are not going to get accurate data if the child is getting too much help from you. So a little bit of struggle is okay. That's how we learn. Number five, please refrain from asking questions about your child or his or her instruction during live lessons. Teachers will host daily office hours from 2 to 3 where we can be contacted directly to discuss those issues. Remember, the lessons will be recorded. So whatever you say, if you hop on and have a question, that goes out to everybody. So just go ahead and contact us during those office hours. Number six, please be patient and flexible as we embark on this new journey into learning.
Thank you, Mrs. Soisman. Mrs. Soisman is also going to talk about our student expectations for virtual learning.
Yes, so these are just some overall expectations for students. Your teachers will have more specific expectations for you, but you must be logged in on time and be on camera the whole time. I would log in about 5 minutes early just to clear up any computer issues. Muted unless you are speaking. So just like we are now, only one person is speaking at a time so that we can all hear each other. 3 would be computer and iPad charged before the session. So make sure every single night just charge it and make sure your device is charged. Number 4, have your materials at hand. Pencil, paper, don't be, getting up and going to get what you need. Just have everything ready ahead of time. Use the restroom before class and or during brain breaks. We're going to have multiple brain breaks throughout the day, so that would be a good time for your child to go to the restroom. If you have a question, your child can use the chat box and send it only to the teacher. And then students will need to have their first and last name on the screen during their online class.
Thank you, Ms. Soisman. Ms. Halliman, please walk us through setting up our child for success.
All right, good afternoon. My motto with my kids are preparation is key. And so it is required that students have pencils, papers, headphones, or any school provided material according to their classes. Their working space should be comfortable. A table or desk is required. We're asking that they refrain from working on their beds. And I'll say to my kids, our position tells our brain how we should be feeling. So when I'm working on my bed, I'm getting comfortable and not really want to work. So I will encourage having them in a seated position as if they were in a classroom. Bright lighting. So we want them away from distractions. As you said, I was looking at one of our parents commenting that they do have a house full of kids, and a quiet space is going to be something hard for us at this time. But if you can have that child have a headphone on, just so that they're zoned into what's happening and not too much of what's happening on the outside, that would help as they each get into their own classrooms. I have them work in the same space every day. Doing that gives it consistency and make sure, and it will ensure that the child has their supply ready at hand and not having to hunt around the house daily to find their stuff and have it moving accordingly. Their supplies, meaning their pencils, papers, headphone, as Ms. Oisman said, should be charged and should be nearby at all times. All right, so we're also encouraging our kids to follow the STAR rules and stay focused.
We have about 15 minutes left until our presentation time is up. If your question has not been answered, we will reach out to you as soon as we can to answer any further questions. Ms. Halliman, can you please again go over the STAR rules that Mr. Russell talked about briefly in the video?
Okay, so our STAR rules are as follows. We're going to show respect for yourself and others. And how would that look like with our virtual learning? Someone speaking, we're going to have the others just sit back and be quiet just for a little. One person will be talking at a time. Everyone's mute is on. We should transition quietly and in an orderly manner. We will be practicing with our kids how to move from one Zoom session to the other in a timely manner. They should accept responsibility for their actions. So there are going to be times when our kids, because kids are kids, but being responsible, saying, okay, this is what I did and I'll try not to do it again, is something we're open to. Ready to learn. Ready to learn is going to be one of our biggest things this year, being that we will be learning from home. And we're going to support our school at this time because it's new, as Ms. Stewart said in the beginning. This is not something that we're used to. So it's going to take a little getting used to. And so we're going to ask for you to be flexible and just work with us as we try to give your child the best at this time.
All right, and Ms. Halliman will go over what discipline looks like in remote learning.
Okay, now discipline, we will have whole group positive narration. So I like this, I like how you did that. That is something that we will be doing this year. We will have individual corrections. Students will we will be doing our class reset. We will be having our brain breaks or countdown for our students just to make sure that they're working in a timely manner. Teachers will be in control of the mute button at all times. So we're asking that our students be respectful of that. Resetting in a waiting room. We will practice doing that with our kiddos so they know what to do and what is expected in our waiting room. We will be calling parents if needs be. So we'll let you know as it goes on with these call home phone calls during our class time.
Thank you, Ms. Halliman.
You're welcome.
Mrs. Cloisman will go over the incentives for our students as well.
All right, so along with discipline, we are also going to have lots of positive incentives for your children. We want to keep it very positive, very happy, very light as much as possible. We'll be doing things like Student of the Day, Student of the Month, WILDCAT Pride Party. There's a slide coming up on that. End of class shout out, morning shout out, positive call or message home, dance breaks, virtual certificates, some virtual field trips maybe. We can do a themed class day, a show and tell spotlight, and the list goes on. And Ms. Matthews and I even talked about maybe visiting some special friends at their houses with our masks on for excellent, excellent behavior. So be on the lookout and just do your absolute best to get some incentives.
So as Mrs. Sloisman was saying, we will be having a WILDCAT Pride Party. It's very similar to Green Team. It will be the last Friday of the month. There will be no parties in August, October, December, April, or June. The following are reasons for not being submitted into the WILDCAT Pride Party. You are not on camera, you're not focused, and you're not attentive. Severe disruptive behaviors such as talking while the teacher is talking, playing music, dancing in the background, playing with toys during the lesson, inappropriate messages in the chat or using the chat without permission, unmuting without permission, sleeping in class, annotating on the teacher's screen without permission, and if you were inappropriately dressed, such as spaghetti straps, short shorts, you must have a shirt, no pajamas, and no robes. If you are able to go to the WILDCAT Pride Party, you will not have been more than 4 times in the waiting room or the breakout room, and that's for the entire month. And you cannot be removed from the class more than 2 times for the month. So 1 time in the waiting room per class, and removal from the class is on the second offense on the same day given. So for example, if Ms. Halliman and I have to remove your student 1 time in our block, that will count as that they were dismissed for the class or from the class. Mr. Mitchell is going to go over our remote learning dress code. Mr. Mitchell, you're on mute.
Sorry. So these are the do's and don'ts and yeses and nos. So what's okay are jeans, pants, sneakers, t-shirts, joggers, sandals, or last year's uniform. What is not acceptable are spaghetti straps, tank tops, pajamas, robes, blankets, t-shirts with inappropriate language or pictures, shorts, and short shorts and distracting accessories.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. Ms. Matthews will talk about, Ms. Halliman will talk about communication.
Okay, so communication is going to be vital to your child's success this year. And we understand that contact information changes. So as they changes, we're gonna ask that you just keep us updated with these changes. If your child is on Zoom, as we're doing now, just send a quick message in our chat. We will be able to access those information as we go. We have been offering home visits. I know a lot of parents had that concern that they may not have heard from their teachers, but we are using Remind as our main source of contact information. So if you have not yet accepted that invitation that's been sent out, please go ahead and do so. That is one of our main resource of communication with our parents this year. We're also, if for some reason you may not want to use Remind, we will be sending an email, but you will have to let us know, because we're going to assume, since you're on Remind, that you will be getting these information. So just send us a quick message to say, hey, I'd prefer to get this via email. All right. So that is really what we're going to do this year. And as I said, if you have any concerns or questions, feel free to call the school if you may not be able to get us as teachers, and we'll get the information.
Thank you, Ms. Halliman. Along with communication, please allow teachers 24 hours to respond. If it's Friday after 3 o'clock, that 24 hours will not go into effect until Monday. Technology issues, Ms. Matthews.
Yes, it's weird I have this one because I have the most technology issues. Yay! So we hope that your child does not have technology issues, but in the event that you do, please contact that, take a picture of it or jot it down. But that is the technology team, and they have a great one at Sugar Creek. So please familiarize yourself with that email. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Matthews. And if you want to go through our grade level contacts.
Yes. So that is the name, email, and remind code for all of us wonderful third grade teachers. Yay, those are the codes if you need to get sign up for Remind. And if you're already signed up, then you have probably already received an email from us. But those are our codes, emails, and those are the math and ELA teachers for third grade.
Thank you, Ms. Matthews. We have also set up a Google phone number that your student's homeroom teacher will be sending to you within the next few days. And Ms. Dates, if you would like to wrap us up.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, parents, for joining us today at our open house. This year may look a little different, but working together and communicating, we will help each other get through this. Our main goal is to help your child learn the best they can and give them, within the circumstances that we are in, we will give them all that we can, in addition with your help. And if we stay in the all-in mentality, we got this, we got you, you have to be with us so we can all get through it together. And please reach out to your student's homeroom teacher for any additional questions or concerns that you may have. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dates. That about wraps up everything for our third grade presentation. We want to thank you yet again. Okay, question for the teachers that share. So all teachers do share. So we just will have you'll get the same, we'll add you, so you will have 2 different remind codes, yes. But some of the information that I send out will go to your student through Ms. Talman and vice versa. Any other questions, please put in the chat. And if you have no further questions, you are free to go, and we will leave the space for 4th grade, which is starting at 5 o'clock. We look forward to seeing all of you next week, and we hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week and evening.
Welcome to third grade.
Welcome. Thank you, guys.
And if you have not,
Bye, everyone.
Miss Stewart,
yes.
this is Miss Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Email. We just have orientation. Mariana at 5 o'clock. I didn't get the passcode.
Bye.
Oh, it's the same one.
For
It's the
Ariana
same one.
participate.
For 4th grade, it's, you can stay, Miss Black, you can stay on.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Stay on, okay.
Bye.
Same link for every grade level. Miss Black.